What's up, gamers? Let's knock a bunch of these out in one day and then post them staggered. One a day. This is the third episode recorded of video about Toy, my midlife crisis collecting series. Thoughts on toys, currently and previously available. In this video, we're going to be talking about Battle Tribes and, to a lesser extent, Warlords of Wor. Now, Battle Tribes is by Spy Monkey Creations, and Warlords of Wor, where's a Warlord? There he is by ManOrMonster Studios, I want to say. Sorry if that's wrong. These are Glyos figures. They are part of the whole Glyos thing. You can see here in this particular compartment, all my extra pieces. What is Glyos? Well, it's I don't know the best word for it. Let's say open source, sort of PVC, I guess action figure, standard for joints, where all of the joints are interchangeable across several, we'll say, toy lines. It's sort of a little bit indie, a little bit hipster, and I've always... I'll be right back. Let me get the Glyos. I've always sort of dismissed the whole Glyos thing. Patrick Bateman voice. He was into that whole Glyos thing. This is a more typical Glyos, although still it's more my speed than most of them are. They're usually pretty limited run toys that tend to be like a little pricier than you would expect. Back to Battle Tribes. And for a long time I just kind of ignored Glyos, and I regret that now because these have been around since 2016. And quite honestly, this is my favorite toy line running. I've always been a huge fan of He-Man. We'll in a future video we'll probably talk about Masters of the Universe Origins, and the highs and lows of that toy line. But what's going on with Battle Tribes? Very obviously He-Man inspired. It's got kind of the similar He-Man proportions and shape. These guys are like 2.5 inches tall. They retail on average, 16 is the sort of the low end for what Battle Tribes run. That's the same as a Masters of the Universe Origins, or at least it was before they cranked it up. And honestly, I like these more. Like, this is all the articulation I need. This is not any kind of, fooling myself. I prefer this level of articulation to, hyper posability, hyper articulation. It's more sturdy, it's more playable, and yes, I do play with these guys. They're very easy to play with. You put them in your pocket, you go out on the porch, you have a little battle. But these guys come in a variety of... They have one basic body shape, which you can probably see. Most of their parts are repaints of each other, basically. But they do have several, we'll say character types that exist. You have the Barbarian body, and they all come with a bunch of different heads. Like the Barbarian body has, Fire and Ice head, He-Man head, a couple different dinosaur heads generally with it, an orc head. What else do you got? You got the Ninja body. Ninja has like motorcycle helmet head, Ninja head, and weird like Spock haircut head. Not entirely sure what they're doing with that one. They got the demon body type, which comes with wings. Has like a Cthulhu head, a bunch of different sort of demonic heads. You have the Wrestler. Now, the Wrestlers, I will say, this is like a joke that I don't get. With the exception of this guy, they used to have a thing, they seem to be out of them. They used to have a thing called the blind bag. You could order old stock for cheap. So that's how any wrestlers I have other than this bronze tiki guy, who is like one of the latest guys to come out, have been the results of a blind bag. Because I just, it's fine. I feel like there's a joke there that I'm not getting. Like, they come with kind of like food fighters, hamburgers, French fries. The wrestlers also come with a little guy, I guess, is a value add that you can stick the head on. This is the old little guy sculpt, and now there is a new little guy sculpt, freshly introduced, which looks a little better. And they have the tiki head and the bear head are new. They've replaced some of the food heads. Just don't. I don't know. I don't get the joke really. They're fine. What else do we got? We got the Ankylo. The Ankylo body type, which there's. This is the one, like, an Ankylo that I want to buy has not come out since I've been collecting these. This guy I got on eBay. They have like a shell on the back. They have, the Ankylosaurus head. They come with like a goblin and some dwarf heads, some different weapons. Let's see. And then, if that's not enough, there's Warlords of Wor, which is kind of a spin-off line, which has like a soldier body type and a like Swamp Thing Bognar kind of body type. And the Bognar has like a merman head, a Swamp Thing head, and a what's that movie called? They Live. Like a They Live style, like zombie head. And the soldier body type comes with this like, little kind of crusty, like kind of sort of armor piece, contrast to the barbarian kind of this guy fur piece. The soldier, they come with this robot hand. They come with this big gun, which I don't love the gun. It does have a thing on the back for some, a joint for some, you could maybe plug something in there to have more fun with it. Let me grab the other thing. Forgot this guy. The other thing the soldier type has is the snake head, which you may remember from Dino Riders. clearly inspired by that. Weirdly, there's no Dino Riders ant head on any of these figures. But yeah, a lot of parts, small, very easy to collect, very easy to play with. I I tend to love the smaller figures. You see here, it's a little difficult to make. One gripe, you get a lot of extra pieces. It's a little difficult to make extra guys because there is only one version of the upper arm and upper leg. So, you end up with a lot of extra pieces because there's a lot of different heads. There's even different torsos, there's different crotches, there's different boots. There's different everything but the upper arms and legs. So you never end up with extra upper arms and legs. The solution to that, they have pretty recently introduced like just really cheap blank unpainted bodies for $7, which it's reasonable. This guy is mostly, these are my two original characters. This guy is I got a blind bag duplicate of a wrestler, so I made him into a different guy with different parts, and this guy is off one of the blank bodies. So these are my original characters. Otherwise, I do generally leave them stock. Sometimes you get other like collaborations with other Glyos things. Like I think the parts on this are from God Beast. I want to say at least the head is. This guy sold out pretty quick. But on that note, he's got a little ant butt there too. Very cool. On that note, the thing of Glyos, it's all indie. It all tends to be like, social media driven. And it's small print runs. That's kind of my one gripe with these series. If something convention exclusive and desirable and low print run comes out like this sort of faker that I'm holding, they will sell out. They will sell out very quick, and they will, before they are sold out, they will have scalp entries up on Etsy for, 3 to 6 times the price they were on the shop for. And that doesn't really happen a lot. Since I've been collecting these, that hasn't happened much. Like this guy was apparently a convention exclusive. I don't know if you can. He's a little translucent. It's like a Tron Legacy kind of thing. And I got this guy for $16 on eBay. So if you're the secondhand market on these guys can be pretty. It can look pretty bad. Like there will be guys up on eBay for years, and they're asking $100, $200, or 40, 50, 60 more often. And it's like, really? But sometimes they have best offer, and you can offer $15, $20 and they'll take it sometimes. So they're not terrible to collect, and they are still regularly coming out. These two guys are from the latest wave of Battle Tribes. And I find, just to compare the two lines, Battle Tribes and Warlords of Wor, Battle Tribes tends to be more on the side of gentle homage. Like this guy is inspired by definitely dinosaurs. Old, I don't know, Fisher Price maybe, toy line, and it's really just kind of in the color. What else do we have here? This guy is inspired by Kaniku Man. I've got one that's inspired by, what am I trying to say? Anyway, let's say Battle Tribes, they're inspired by stuff. This guy is like inspired by Microman, I think. I'm not entirely sure. And that works to me. That's good. You look at him, you're like, that reminds me of this. On the other hand, Warlords of Wor tends toward like slavish reproduction. Like this guy is supposed to be, I think, Zap from G.I. Joe, or some laser trooper or something. And this guy is a half Battle Tribes, half Warlords of Wor. And it's just faker. So Warlords of Wor to me tends to be like more on the nose. Like they have a guy up right now in the shop that's just Weed Killer from the Swamp Thing toy line, which is one of my favorite toys of all time, but I don't feel like there's something about it that is not grabbing me, and part of it is the price. Warlords of Wor, I don't know if they do smaller print runs so they cost more, or it's just because they have more accessories. Warlords of Wor, if Battle Tribes are $16, Warlords are $20. If a high-end Battle Tribes is $18, $20, a high-end Warlords is $25. And that turns me off. But I as a longtime City of Heroes player, I much prefer use the parts you have and go for the spirit rather than just like make things that don't look that good in service of trying to exactly like mathematically recreate what you're trying to do, if that makes sense. But I don't know. It is what it is. There are some other. I like to imagine that he's got like a powerful hammer. It's a powerful magical hammer. He's an evil overlord. I like that guy. He's my own guy. You can make your own guy too with battle tribes and Warlords of Wor. Yeah, like I said, ongoing toy line. You can look them up. Not too hard to snag. There are Glyos things that like they come out and you wake up in the morning and see that they came out and they're totally sold out. And this has never really been the case. Like, this guy they said, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. on this day he's coming out, and then he was like an hour and a half late, and it kind of went up in a weird staggered way, and I did have to sit there and refresh the page, for 2.5, 3 hours, and if I hadn't done that, I would have missed him, but, other than that, it's all been pretty obtainable. I think they're out of the blind bags, which is unfortunate. I don't know if they're planning to bring those back. Those do seem to be out of stock, but yeah. Forgot I had that sitting right here. Good toy line. Good looking. Good colors. Good posability. Fun swappable out ability. Even though I do tend to like prefer to display them and keep them as as advertised. Yeah, highly recommended. Look them up. Warlords of Wor, but don't buy them so much that I can't buy them anymore. Thank you for listening and watching. Have a good one.